Okay, so welcome to the deep dive. We heard from you that you're keen to gain knowledge, but without feeling totally overloaded.
Right. Which got us thinking about this whole idea of enough.
Exactly. Like, what does enough actually mean? And, how do we decide what's valuable?
Yeah, and we've been digging into some ideas from valuing what matters
Mhm.
to explore just that. It's pretty fascinating how we assign worth.
Totally. And speaking of having a lot, our word for today is plethora, a huge amount of something.
A plethora, good way.
It fits perfectly, right?
Yeah.
Because it makes you wonder, well, when does having a plethora, having so much, stop being a good thing?
That really is the core question here. And the source material we looked at, it suggests that things start to lose their meaning, their value when we
Yeah.
get them just for the sake of having them,
Uh-huh.
rather than because we, personally connect with them or value them. It shifts.
It shifts from actual value to just piling things up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sheer accumulation.
Okay, let's try and unpack that a bit. You know that feeling when you buy something you really, really wanted? There's that initial joy.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But what happens when that one cool thing turns into like 10 or
Yeah.
50? The source even had this image, didn't it? Someone just buried under stuff.
Yeah, socks and Amazon boxes, I think.
Yeah.
Looking completely overwhelmed.
Right. And that visual, it really lands. It shows that feeling of being swamped.
It really does. It underlines the sort of emotional cost of having too much. When you're surrounded by so much stuff, you can't even appreciate it, let alone manage it.
The original pleasure just evaporates.
It does. It just becomes a burden, a weight.
Now here's where it gets really interesting, I think. We found that quote from Socrates.
Oh, right. Beware the barrenness of a busy life.
Yeah. Now, okay, he's talking about being busy, but doesn't that connect directly to this idea of accumulation?
Absolutely. I think it does.
You can have a house full of things or a calendar packed solid, but still feel kind of empty, barren, like he said, if there's no real meaning behind it all.
That's a great connection. Busyness just for busyness sake, or
Right.
owning stuff just to own it, it can easily distract us from what actually makes life feel rich and meaningful.
And it's not just about things, is it? Physical objects. The source talked about relationships, too.
It did, yeah. That was a key point. It's just that, having a few really close, meaningful friendships often brings way more personal value.
Than having, like, hundreds of distant acquaintances or followers online.
Exactly. It's about the depth, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not just the numbers in your contacts list. Those deeper connections, they take more work, more investment.
But the payoff, the value you get back is so much greater.
Precisely. So if we try to tie this all together, the main insight seems to be about intention. It's about why we have things or why we do things or who we spend our time with.
Right. The value comes from that personal meaning, that genuine connection, not just having a lot, not just quantity.
Quality over quantity, essentially.
So for you listening, especially thinking about learning and taking in information, maybe the real takeaway here isn't about just grabbing a plethora of facts. It's more about really understanding and connecting with the knowledge that, truly resonates with you.
Huh?
Valuing the quality of what you learn over just the sheer amount.
That's a really important point. And it brings us back to Socrates, doesn't it? It kind of leaves you with a question to ponder.
Yeah.
Well, thinking about your own life,
Yeah.
are there areas where maybe having less stuff, less busyness, maybe even fewer surface level contacts could actually lead to more?
More value, more meaning.
Exactly. It's definitely worth considering, your own relationship with this idea of enough. Where might you be leaning towards accumulation when what you really want is connection?
A really powerful thought to end on. Makes you think.